Good evening. My name is Penda James, and welcome to the Resilience Project. This is a special edition of the Resilience Project, and our theme for the month of November is Now November. I want you to share with your friends, tag somebody who needs to hear an empowering conversation because they've been stopping and starting on one of their goals. Tonight, I have a guest that I've had before. I'm going to call her Dr. Monique Robinson, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about her in just 1 second. Let me just take a step back and just tell you, I am the owner of Inscribed Inspiration. What I do is I assist people, leaders who are stuck to get unstuck, execute their goals, and inscribe their legacy. In August of 2020, in the heat of the pandemic, I had a really hard conversation with myself and recognized that I was giving everybody else more of me than I was giving to myself. I started to have conversations with people that I care about so that I could hear their bounce back stories. I wanted to hear people talking about when they got knocked down by life or disappointed, frustrated by life, and how did they find the strength, the courage, the tenacity, the faith, and the persistence to get back up, to be resilient. And that's how the Resilience Project was born. My goal is to help leaders create a toolkit. And I wanted to interview 100 people that have these bounce back stories so that I could help you bounce back. Now, in 2015, I started a process where I would invite people to write on my blog, and it was called Now November. And I wanted them to interpret the term Now November, because for me, November means we have 8 weeks left to finish our goals. We started at the beginning of the year with things we said we wanted to accomplish, and we still have time to make it happen. But in that season where I lost Penda, I put Now November down. So I brought it back live and in color, and I will have guests for the rest of this month having conversations to interpret the term Now November. Next week, I know it is the week of Thanksgiving 2021, but we will be discussing I forgive myself and how to forgive other people in the process. And then the week after that, we are going to be discussing I choose to win. Today, I want to introduce you to Monique Robinson. I met her recently, actually, but we've known each other and been connected to each other for a long time. We just didn't know it. I went to high school with her sister. Her mom was my mentor. We went to the same college, the great Wilberforce University. And now God has found fit to connect us. I've been on her podcast and she's been on mine before, but we felt that it was fitting to bring her back to have this conversation because this year, Dr. Mo, has decided she's going to run hard to the finish line and grab that dissertation that she kept putting on the shelf. So no more excuses, no more stopping. Dr. Mo is picking up the mantle and running hard because she's already doing great work in the community. She runs a nonprofit which helps get scholars, as she calls them, connected to higher education. And I'll let her tell you a little bit more about herself when we bring her on. So I hope you will let us know that you're watching. And for those of you who are watching the replay, thank you for coming in. Please comment, let us know where you're from and what you need to do to help yourself remind yourself that you won't quit on yourself again. So let's bring up Dr. Mo. Dr. Mo, we call those things that are not as though they are. So you sing. When you got on the screen today, I saw your face and I heard a song. Can you just sing? Because you sing. Just sing just a little bit of the song that I asked you to sing, and then I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay. Hold on. I feel like going on. I feel like going on. Though trials may come, oh, never end. I feel like going on.
Thank you for stopping right there, because I think I might have just passed out right here on the camera.
No,
That is one that is one of my absolute favorite songs. And when things get tough, I don't know. I don't know where the, like, I think I know it sounds weird, but like sometimes it feels like the ancestors be singing through me. I don't know. Like, I don't know if my grandma dear, if she used to walk around, but she sang opera, so I don't know. But when I feel that heaviness and I don't feel like I can go on, I start singing that. So when you got on the camera and I saw you tonight, I just heard you singing it, and you sang it exactly how I had imagined in my mind. And I want to just acknowledge that the first time you were on the Resilience Project, you were timid and you were nervous, but at the same time, you were working on your podcast. And then you invited me on your podcast, and then you started singing, you started telling your testimony. So the whole full circle came back. So thank you for doing that. So is there something that I didn't say about you that you want our guests to know?
No, you really pretty much summed it up really well. I am a work in progress. Like I told you when you had brought it up before, I was like, Penda, this is growing. This is helping me grow. It may appear like I have everything together, but I still have some things in my life that I need to work on. And I'm very transparent in telling people that. I believe last month's word was forgiveness for me. For me. And I don't understand why God is having me do certain things and having me reach out to people who I pretty much wrote off.
Oh.
You heard me say I, not God. I pretty much wrote off. And so that's why I was like, oh, Penda's having this one. Self-love. That's important. Mm-hmm. And that's something that I didn't for a long time. Like, I didn't love myself. And you're like, oh God, I would never thought that.
No, I wouldn't have.
I didn't, and it's something that, as working around children or working around teens and adolescents and different people, and I hear them bring back the light skin, dark skin thing. Sometimes that's a trigger. I mean, just being honest. I mean, my sister was some way and I was totally opposite. And with the siblings where we were completely opposite. She was light, I was dark. She was petite, I always been thick. just came with the territory. And so because of that, it caused me, because I don't mind telling it because it might help somebody break through what they're dealing with. To me, I didn't like my melanin at all because of that. Because I was like, I don't fit in with this table because they always, most of her friends were petite, pretty, whatever. And so for a long time, I didn't have that within me. And so it poured out into the type of relationships. And so that's why I'm really big on telling young people, don't be promiscuous, don't do this. Don't think just because the first boy say he loved you, like you, pretty, you're supposed to jump off and do that. Love yourself first.
So thank you for saying that, because I think for me, bringing back, Now November in this season where I'm talking about the Resilience Project, it all came down to the fact that I wasn't loving myself the way that I needed to.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to talk about the one thing that you quit on yourself and make a promise to not do that anymore. So how do you define what it means to quit?
Oh goodness. Amongst family, so I shouldn't be like afraid to talk about that. How I define quit means just to put it off and never do it again, or quit constantly making excuses to not seal the deal. And I know there are two things that I really have quit on in my life that I'm like, man, I probably should have picked it back up. One is my doctorate. And I promise you, because of the promise I made to you and the way that you like, look, I'm gonna help you. You need me to help you read something? I got you. I mean, because, and to me, that's a goal that I really wanted for me, not, not for anybody else. That's something I want for me. And every time I get to the finish line or I get closer, I just be like, I can't do it. I can't do it. But this time I'm like, you know what? I'm taking it. I'm not going to quit that. And another time I felt like I quitted something personally, not academically, personally, is I quit loving me. I went through I'm not going to say it was a bad divorce because I learned through that process. But I had got up to be almost 300 and something pounds. And I remember looking at myself and saying, is it really this bad?
Oh, wow.
And so that's why I know a lot of people like, she take pictures of herself all the time. Yes. I had to fall in love with myself again in order to accept different things. And going through that, like, I don't know. I don't have the picture on my phone I can show you real fast, but it's on my page where I did like a now and then. I was really that big. Like, and
I saw it.
and it wasn't, I don't want to say I didn't love myself. I would say I didn't love myself enough.
So let's put a pin in the not loving ourselves enough, because I think I know that I experienced that. I that's why I stopped doing everything that brought me joy. And I don't say, that I experienced the depression, because I know that there are people who have been diagnosed with depression and they live with depression. And so I try not to say like I have anxiety, because I don't have like a diagnosis, but I know that there's some symptoms of anxiety where like, like you feel like I can't, I don't want to, I don't want to do it. I can't do that. I don't want to go there, and the lack of self-love, but not really knowing that that's what it is. And then when you get to that place and you don't know where it is and you quit on yourself. So which came first? The loving yourself, I think. Once you got to love yourself first, then all these other doors opened up. Would you agree?
I would say, I would say a lot of that. The loving myself came first, because when you down on your face and it's just you and God, He shows you what to do. And that was a really like time in my life. And I mean, I don't have no secrets. Most people know my testimony. If they don't, they just gonna learn some stuff about me that they didn't know today. I was homeless for about 6 months because I didn't want to stay there and I didn't want to go back home. And so the manager of a hotel had let me stay there in a room. She said, you know what? I see you work every day. You always going. Just pay me when you get your check. And that's how she did it for the time I was there. But it taught me so much in that little bit of time. I got to look at myself and see like your life choices and your decisions have brought you to this. You can't put people on pedestals. People are temporary. God is still there. You're like, oh God. So that, I mean, in a nutshell, that's what helped me through that period.
Has stopping and starting been a thread throughout your life?
It has. It has. It also allowed me to appreciate the little things.
Tell us more.
What I mean by that is I know that it won't always be like the level that I'm at now. I know that God is preparing me for greater. I can give you a lesson that I just went through last week. That's how real I know it is. Last week, I know I talk about a certain school because I used to work there, and I left there and I wrote them off. Through my podcast, a lady was on there and was like, it's not about you. Same thing that I prayed, God spoke to me, said, it's not about you. Put Monique to the side and do what's right for the kids. And so we're doing a toy drive for that school.
Okay.
So it's like, and I took, some Thanksgiving things up to the school for the kids. And it's like, you know what? God is having me do things that I know if it's me, it wouldn't happen. Point blank, no. Even to this conversation, is somebody that needs to hear the stuff that I'm saying.
Absolutely.
So I was like, oh, sure. I come on here and talk to Penda.
So tell us about the one particular thing about your doctorate. What was so challenging about it that you stop and start? Because I know we can apply that to anything, anything.
Fear of one is fear of being successful, especially when you know a person's background. I was a behavior kid. I'm not supposed to be an honor roll student getting a doctorate. And so sometimes that plays in your head, one. And then two, the financial state. Once you get to a certain level, it's like jumping through hoops to get scholarships and get funding for your doctorate. And, just like the counselor guy told me, he said, God gonna make a way now. You just make sure you pass these classes. And I'm like, hey, sir, I got you. But those are the two hurdles, the largest hurdles. Because there's a lot of people that want to do it, but finances, life situations. I mean, now, you really want me to be honest. I got my master's with honors while I was homeless. Wow. So, and I just went on and got the EDS too, but life situations, you just got to be so determined that nothing is standing in your way. And I know it sounds cliche-ish, but you have to trust God through the process. And sometimes you're like, God, really, that bill, I keep seeing that bill that ain't going to work. And, out of nowhere, something to fund to where you get to where you need to be.
I feel like I'm living vicariously through you because I always said, my favorite professor was Dr. Grisby at Wilberforce.
I loved him.
He used to call me Dr. Horton, like from whatever first class I had with him, he would call me Dr. Horton. And I just always knew I was going to get my doctorate. I was going to be a professor. It's not going to happen for me. And so I just live vicariously through everybody who is getting their doctorates because I don't know, like life has changed. So I don't know if that's, and so now I have different things that I do want to pursue and different things that I hope will happen for me. And that's why when I hear you say that you're so close to the finish line, so close, 6 classes away, so close, and you're already doing the work. So no, you're not quitting again. What do you want people to know about how to stop repeating that cycle of stopping and starting?
You have to surround yourself with people that want to see you win. Everybody in your corner is not for you. I mean, that's just, something I have learned in life. I know I'm not old or all that, I'm only 44, but I have experienced a lot with friends, trust, different circles, just seeing a bunch of different things. So you have to surround yourself with with positive vibes. You know,
Well,
also, one thing my mom, and I don't know, she probably told you why she was mentoring you. If you're the smartest person in your friend group, find some new friends. And she's always tell me, and I'm like, Mom, but they my friend. She would say that.
what's different this time with your doctorate? Like what's different?
I feel that I'm in a place where I can do it. And then I'm working with kids that's like, hey, you know, Miss Mo, you going back to school, you gonna help us too. And then everybody, it's just about everybody in my friend group now is either trying to get in school, about to be in school, or like we can be study partners, what you need help with. So I have a better support system than before.
What do you want to do with your doctorate?
Oh, guys, a bunch of things.
Okay, let's say them. It's motivation.
One thing I do want to do, and I know this might seem petty, but it's just a certain teacher that, you know, just we all have special ones. Hey, I know, call me petty. I'm sorry. I just feel she needs to know that, you know, the words she said in 6th grade meant nothing. So I need to make sure she sees that. I forgave her because I've been working on forgiveness, but I just want her to see it.
You still remember it?
Yes.
What'd she say?
Actually, I was in a behavior intervention meeting, and just I was a problem, I guess, to her, you know. But what a lot of teachers don't realize is if that kid is a problem, give them something that's going to challenge them. Most of your behavior kids are gifted, either A in music or B in some other form of the arts. And had she had took that opportunity to challenge me like some of the other teachers did, instead of seeing it as a problem, then it wouldn't be that gripe towards her. I'm just.
What do you want to say to somebody who is in the cycle? Like, look at the camera and just, you know, they have started something that they really wanted to do, and they have the opportunity to finish it, but they choose not to. I want you to first speak a word of encouragement to them, and then second, tell them how finishing it is going to change them.
Oh, wow. A word of encouragement would be speak life to your situation. Everything that just because you quit the first time does not mean that it's dead. It's not dead. I know that I have done this, and most things in my life, it comes in threes. I don't know. God just always brings everything to 3. This is my 3rd attempt. And that's and that's why I was like, okay, God, you know, open up doors. It's getting done. Point blank, period. And don't be afraid to be successful. And some people, and I'm not speaking for some people, let me just say for me, success scares me because I remember the first time I came home from Wilberforce, and my friend group wasn't my same friend group. Just, you know, to them, she thinks she all that. She in school. She used to run around here with us. No, I don't think I'm all that. I'm still trying to fit in with y'all because I thought y'all was cool. So don't lose focus. One is number 2. You know, if you placed in a position where you can do better, do it. Leave that stuff behind. You know, if they really are genuinely for you, they will be there no matter what. And I have been experiencing so much lately. And that's why I said God is working with me on forgiveness. He's taking me back to places where I'm like, I don't want to be there. I mean, but I felt so much joy, you know, at the school the other day. Some of the staff members, we miss you. You coming back? No, I'm not coming back, but it's a blessing to see you. I felt closure, you know, because sometimes you leave places and you never know who can help you get to the next level, or whose lives you have touched that you didn't get to say bye to, so you can help them cross where they need to go. So yeah, it was helpful.
How is finishing going to change a person?
Finishing will definitely change because you'll feel like you have achieved something. And I'm a lifelong learner, so it wouldn't stop at that. I probably still try to learn something else. That's just me.
Yeah.
And then a lot of things that I do now in dealing with students and helping them get into college, to have that extra weight. I mean, I still get a seat at the table regardless because your gift is going to make room for you no matter what. But I just feel with that, it may carry a lot more weight than just, Miss Mo.
Dr. Mo. When Dr. Mo comes into the room, the people that you advocate for will pay attention to you differently because they won't see just this little woman from the hood trying to advocate. They won't see somebody who put her blood, sweat, and tears into her education, and she's serious about the work that she does, and she fights academically.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Dr. Mo, come through, Dr. Mo. I really, really want to thank you. I know this isn't the last time. Our circle keeps just going higher and higher, and we change. You and we change and grow closer every time. So thank you for singing, and I'm just gonna come back and listen to you sing.
Oh my
I
God.
feel like going on. I almost caught myself singing. I was like, no, I got the singing lady on the thing. But thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's hard for me a lot of times when the camera turns on because the homie, she here and I know she's here, but I get so nervous. So I want to thank Ministry is Me. She's back there producing for us, but I get nervous and then
Why?
I start rambling at the beginning, like I don't know what I want to say, but there's so much I want to say and so much I want to do to encourage people not to quit on themselves.
But
I know what that feels like quitting. I quit on myself. I was just like, oh, when I say getting my doctorate, it's not going to happen for me. That's not because I'm quitting on myself. It's because my goals have shifted.
oh wow.
If the opportunity comes, of course I want to do. It's on my list. It's something I want to do, but I want to be on the red carpet. I want to be a showrunner. I want you to sit in the movie theater until the end and see Penda L James somewhere. Like my goals are shifting, and that's okay too. So even I never started my doctorate, so it's not the same as not doing it because I started it and can't finish it. It's that if the opportunity arises financially, I don't have the money and I don't have the time because I have a family and I can't do it. But if the opportunity arises, I'm running hard. That's why I'm going to be right here. When you get to the finish line, I'm going to be like this.
And I will greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. I really will, because you have caused me to grow even in some of your posts. And I'm like, okay, I got to get it.
We I guess for us, because the other guests that we were supposed to have, they couldn't make it today. And I think for us, a year from now, we're gonna come back and we're gonna look at this recording and see where we are. Hopefully you will be getting ready to or have just crossed that stage.
Oh my God, I would probably pass out because, most of the time I didn't go to my master's and I didn't go to my education specialist. I just didn't feel like it. But this one, my mom said no excuse.
Your mom. This is what we give them the opportunity to celebrate with you. Yeah.
I'm learning. I told you I'm a work in progress. I'm learning a lot of things. And you have really been essential in helping me grow because helping me with being transparent, helping me be able to, because just being honest, Penda, a lot of people are scared to share their stories in transparency.
Now, sometimes I watch like, did I really say that? Oh man, I'm telling too much. But I am really I heard people say just the other day, like, when I die, I want to die empty. And I feel like that. I feel like in my life, just now being 47, and, like, a lot of my classmates from high school are passing away. Like,
Wow.
I'm just at the age where Les Brown says, when you get in your 40s, like, you know, everybody starts dying, and he's right. Like,
Oh
in
my.
my 40s, I'm like, gosh, I want to live the rest of my life enjoying life. And I don't, like, last week I was on here talking about how my name means love, and
Oh
there
wow.
there are people with the testimony about me that I did not love them.
Mm.
So
That's
I want
a
to
mouthful.
I'm trying to do better. I'm really, really trying to. And so, yes, sometimes after the camera turns off and I go to my quiet place by myself, I'm like really empty. And
Wow.
I wonder, like, should I delete that? Like, that was too much. But no.
No.
If I can't be honest about what God has done for me,
Mm-hmm.
this is the last thing I'm gonna say, because I know it's getting late, but there is a whole podcast right now called "Why Did I Leave the Church?"
Oh wow.
And it's the Jude 3 Project, and it's a young lady. She's a minister. She's a licensed, and I think her dad is a pastor. And she's just listening to young people, like millennials, talk about why they don't go to church anymore. And they say some of the things that they say about their struggles with their faith.
Mm.
I understand, and I want to be open and transparent. And I know that, like you, if we don't tell our testimonies, we can't grow. And if we got
Mhm.
to be honest to say, like, yes, this is what's happened. It ain't happening no more, because I'm not quitting on myself
Not,
again.
not with anything. I mean, even my nonprofit, I had quit because you get discouraged.
Yeah, that's why anytime I see a grant, I'm like sending it your way. Cause
No,
tell
not recently, but I'm saying like I was living in Detroit and they were like, "Why are you trying to do this?" Like I was meeting kids after school, helping them fill out applications, taking kids down to the campuses, and it just kind of got discouraging because they wouldn't take it serious. And I was like, "No, this is what I want to do."
you
And
have lived everywhere. Detroit, Dayton. You in Texas now? God.
military.
Oh. That season of where you were, that ABC Youth Futures was birthing in you, it wasn't supposed to be planted there. And just get ready, because ABC Youth Futures is not, you are the hub, but it's about to pop up in other places. So just get ready to prepare other people to do what you do. That's why you need your doctorate.
Yes, man.
You're amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for all of you who watched us. I know we seem like we were just rambling, but this is how we talk to each other. Thank
Yes.
you for joining the Resilience Project. You can go to my YouTube channel, search my name, Penda James, subscribe, like, share, and just find a way to tell people your bounce back story. And if you can't figure out what it is, I can help you, because you've been knocked down, you've been shut down, and you've been shut up. And now, November, we say, I will not quit on myself again. We'll see you next week. Love you.